Good morning, guys. Welcome to my replay viewers. Thank you guys so much for jumping in, checking out my broadcast. Sorry I missed you live, but so glad you guys took some time to check it out. What is up to my live crew this morning? Great to see you all this morning, and so glad to have you guys here. I appreciate y'all coming in to hang out with me on this Thursday morning. Great morning to you, Dawn. Nice to see you, girl. Jacqueline, great morning to you. Michelle, what's happening? Andrew, good morning to you, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Brian, good morning to you. Alex, thank you for being here. Linda, great morning to you. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for diving right in this morning. We're going to talk about a bad habit today. Yesterday, I talked about I challenged you with the idea that something needs to change in your life, and you know it. That was a good broadcast, wasn't it, y'all? You went through that process yesterday. It's a very powerful and effective way to reset and kind of analyze what's going on in your world and make some changes. So today we're going to continue on the personal development series, and we're going to talk a bit about bad habits today. So my topic today is the one bad habit that will absolutely wreck your ability to accomplish anything. And I think the way I titled it was one bad habit that will wreck your ability, or wreck your, I can't remember how I said it, doesn't matter. But basically, one bad habit that is preventing you from accomplishing what you are setting out to accomplish in your life, in your business, in your goals, whatever it is you're trying to do. One bad habit, and most people possess it. Some people possess it on different levels. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to tell you what that habit is in just a second, and I'm going to challenge you in 8 different areas around that one bad habit. So that's our topic of conversation for today. All you guys know me, you know who I am, you know how I roll. I would love to have you hit that share button, invite your crew into the broadcast, get anybody in here that you think may want to hang out with us and take part in this conversation this morning, all right? And then if anybody's brand new, if you've never seen me before, if you have no idea who I am, first of all, welcome. I would love to greet you and say hello. If you want to give me a hashtag first time and let me know if it's the first time you've ever seen me, I would love to say hello, and my crew would love to make you feel welcome. So let me know if it's the first time you've ever joined in with us. And lastly, guys, I very much appreciate every single one of you guys that is watching this on the replay. If you are on the replay, I would love for you to know that you can comment and interact with this broadcast. I'd love for you to give me a hashtag replay. I do see those comments and I do respond to those as well, so I would love to know that you were here. Great morning to you, Camille. Thanks for coming in. Carice, good morning to you. Keith, what's happening, brother? I appreciate all of y'all. We're gonna roll, guys, because I do not waste my time and I choose not to waste yours, so let's jam. All right, y'all, that is who I am. That is what I do. Justin Kaplan Pro is my name. JustinKaplanPro.com is my website. I'm a startup business mentor and a branding strategist that specializes in helping startup entrepreneurs turn your passion, your gifting, your ideas into a profitable and sustainable brand that rises up in this challenging digital marketplace to draw in the 21st century consumers that want and need what you have to offer. Guys, I broadcast live every single weekday morning from Tuesday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, hooking you guys up with business building tips, hacks, and principles. Anything I can give it to help you grow your business, expand your ministry, bring your vision to life, and grow that brand of yours online in this digital marketplace. All right? Good morning, Tony. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Dale, great morning to you. Appreciate you guys. All right? We're talking today about one bad habit that will absolutely wreck your ability to accomplish anything. This is affecting your life. It is affecting your business. Most people have it. Just some people have it on different levels. We're going to unpack this habit here in just a second, and then I'm going to be sharing with you 8 different ways. I'm going to be challenging you in 8 different ways, all right? As always, I will summarize my points for you at the end of the broadcast, but I do challenge you to take your own notes and capture the information that applies to you. I'm going to start you out with a quote today by Tony Robbins. I love Tony Robbins, and I love Tony Robbins quotes because they're very effective, very powerful, and usually very pointed, which is why I usually like them. Tony Robbins says this: one reason so few of us achieve what we truly desire in our lives is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never making a conscious decision to master anything in particular. How many of y'all like a good Tony Robbins quote like that one? Isn't that a good one? I'm going to read it again. One reason so few of us achieve what we truly desire in our lives is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never making a conscious decision to master anything in particular. That'll preach right there, won't it? So we're going to talk about dabbling. Most people dabble their way through life, never making a conscious decision to master anything in particular. It's a decision, it's a mindset, it's a focus, right? So dabbling is our conversation for today. Dabbling is the bad habit that will absolutely wreck your ability to achieve anything, to accomplish anything significant in your life. And the definition of dabbling is this, and I would love for you to write this down if you want to write this down. The definition of dabbling is to take part in an activity in a casual or superficial way. That's it, very simple. To take part in an activity in a casual or superficial way. Now I'm going to challenge us in 8 different areas to think about this particular topic this morning. Think about the dabbling. Good morning, Nanette. Thanks for coming in, buddy. We're going to think about this dabbling thing, and I'm going to challenge you in 8 different areas and ask you if you are dabbling in these areas of your life and in your business. And can you just be super transparent and honest with yourself this morning and really ask yourself, maybe I am dabbling with that a little bit. Again, to take part in an activity in a casual or superficial way. Are you being too casual with some of these things? Are you superficial is a challenging word, because superficial to me is you're almost like faking it. But let's just go here, shall we? Let's just take this one step at a time. Number 1 is your routine. Are you dabbling with your routine? How do I know that, Justin? Well, if you operate like a machine, if you are a boss, if your routine is consistent day in, day out, and you've got a great plan, yeah, some stuff comes up. But for the most part, you operate with an effective daily routine. I'm not just talking about a morning routine. I'm talking about a daily routine. Then this might not be an issue for you. But I think there's some people out here that your daily schedule is as flexible as the sunshine. It's all over the place. Some days you're up on time, some days you're not. Some days you're focused in the morning, some days you're not. So maybe you've locked your morning routine down like a boss, but your evening routine is all over the place. I'm a firm believer that you can't have an effective morning routine unless you have a consistent evening routine. Somebody want to give me an amen to that one? So I'm going to just challenge you real quick about the power of a routine, and that your routine is so important. I think the way you start the day absolutely affects how that day goes. And if you are dabbling with your routine, your whole day probably shows for it. Y'all agree with that? And how do I know? Are you consistent with when you get up on time? Are you consistent with the way you operate your morning schedule? Do you have a process for the way you go about your day? Do you have a process for the way you go about your evening? Are there things that you say you're going to do, but you don't do them? Did you say a while back that you were going to start exercising 30 minutes a day, and you've only done that 5 days in the last 6 months? That would be dabbling. Dabbling would mean that you only do it on the days that you feel like it. That's how do I know, Justin? You know it by your morning routine only shows up on the days where you're in the mood, or your evening routine only shows up when you have to, but on the days that you just want to stay up late and want to watch Netflix and want to do whatever you want to do, the evening routine goes out the window. So number 1 is, are you dabbling with your routine? You know if you are, and then if you are. I do not dabble with my routine. My routine is locked in, locked down. I know exactly what I do and how I do it, and I do not dabble with my routine, so I don't have to worry about that one. Number 2 is, are you dabbling with your priorities? Are you dabbling with your priorities? Again, the definition of dabble is to take part in an activity in a casual or superficial way. Are you being too casual with your priorities? Are your priorities shifting? Like maybe today something's hot, something's on your radar, and you're all over that today. But then tomorrow something else captures your attention, so now your priorities shift over there. You started out this week thinking, I'm going to get this done this week. This is my mission. This is my focus. I'm going to get this done this week. And then Monday happened. And by the end of the day, Monday, your plan for Sunday went out the window, and then you found yourself just being busy. And now we're Thursday, and the priority that you had on Sunday, you haven't even touched it yet. And you're like, well, there's always next week. You're dabbling with your priorities. I just read somebody's mail and peeking in your windows. You're like, how does he know? Because people do this all the time. Are you dabbling with your priorities? Are you being too casual with the priorities that you're setting? Or are you being too casual about really putting focused effort and time into accomplishing the priorities that you set for yourself? Maybe your priorities are right, but you're dabbling with your discipline. We could go all kinds of angles on this morning. My point and my mission for you today, y'all, is to recognize the areas. Tony says, so I guess I jumped in this broadcast to get punched in the face. There's a reason why I'm wearing American Fighter today, buddy. All right. Oh, Tony, I love you, man. All right. Are you dabbling with your priorities? My mission for you guys is to shake your nest a little bit today and to get you recognized in the areas where you could be better. Because you know what? Can I just say this? There's a whole lot of stuff going on in this world right now that we cannot control. Does somebody want to give me an amen to that right now? There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of junk. There's a lot of lies. There's a lot of garbage going on in this world that we cannot control. But what we can control is what we do in our house, what we can do with our time, what we can do with our minds. All right, we can focus on this right here. So what I'm challenging you this morning with is this right here. What can you do better than what you are currently doing? So I'm shaking your nest a little bit to get you to realize what areas of your world can you be better as we go through this season, okay? Number 2 is your priorities. Number 3 is your goals. I said, are you dabbling with your goals? And some of you are all like, wait, Justin, haven't you heard of COVID-19? Haven't you heard that there's a pandemic? Like I had goals in January, but my goals have gone out the window. I'm going to give you a great quote, and I think it's by Zig Ziglar. I can't remember. I think it's Zig Ziglar. Could be wrong. Who said it? I think it's Zig Ziglar, though. This quote says, when obstacles arise, you change your direction to reach your goal. You do not change your decision to get there. Somebody needed that today. When obstacles arise, you change your direction to reach your goal. You do not change your decision to get there. So as you were stepping into this brand new year with big goals, big dreams, big things that you wanted to get accomplished this year, just because February and March happened and April happened doesn't mean that you get to just throw your goals out the window. And if you threw your goals out the window, you're dabbling with your goals. Like, don't you still want to accomplish something this year? Like, you know what? Can you just ask yourself for a second? Ask yourself a year from now. Let's say we're having this conversation. It is May 14th, 2021. And we're talking about, let's do a look back. Do you want to look back on 2020 at the end of the year and be like, man, what a year that was. I didn't get anything accomplished. That whole COVID thing, man, just wrecked my year. I was so glad to see 2020 to be over. Is that you? Or do you want to be like, you know what? What a year. I learned a lot. I tried some things. I thought differently. It taught me how to think. It taught me how to get creative. It taught me how to get strategic. I figured out ways to create in a season that was so challenging. I made new connections and found people that needed me more than ever. I was able to make an impact like never before. I was able to create like never before. I was able to establish routine and schedule and process like never before. I leveraged the time at home and I grew with my family. Like, what are you really focusing on right now? And do you have goals right now? I think a lot of people have just thrown goals out the window. It's an awful, awful way to live. Because when you lack goals, oftentimes that can lead to a lack of hope in general. A lack of aspiration, a lack of working towards anything. You should still have goals. Your goals may shift. You may have to change your direction a little bit. I'm sure your goals today are not the same goals that you had in January. You probably have to rethink those and revisit those. But you should still have goals. So I'm challenging you this morning, are you dabbling with your goals? Do you even have goals? All right? All right, that's number 3. Number 4, let's go into our business owners, our content creators a little bit. Number 4 is, are you dabbling with your audience? Are you dabbling with your audience? People that are paying you their time and attention. People that are investing energy into you. You know, I was having a conversation. I don't remember who I was talking to. I think it was I don't know if it was my inner circle. Maybe it was it was my master class that I did over the weekend on Go Live Like a Pro. I was talking to these people about when you create content, this is for everybody. When you create content, whether it's a video, whether it's a post, whether it's anything, one of the things that I see a lot of people doing is they get defeated easily if they don't have a ton of interaction. I heard someone say to me, Justin, I've been doing live videos for a week straight. You know, they first started the everyday thing. He reached out to me, Justin, I've been doing live videos for a week straight, and still I'm only averaging 2 to 3 live people in the room at a time. How do I get more viewers? I'm like, wait. Let me just stop you right there. You're not only averaging 2 to 3 people in your room. You have 2 to 3 human beings that have a choice to do whatever they want in the morning. And of all the options that they have, they chose you. They chose your room, your content, and they're hanging out in your room, paying you their very valuable time and attention to listen to what you have to say. So don't disrespect those people by saying, I only have 2 to 3 people in the room. You've got 2 to 3 human beings that are listening to you. You don't need more viewers. You need a shift in your perspective. I broadcasted for weeks and weeks, months and months when I first started with 1 to 2 to 3 people in the room. And my mission was to connect to every single one of them personally and making sure that I built a relationship with them so they couldn't help but come back and watch me again. You haven't earned a live audience yet. You haven't earned a crowd yet. Like, you think, because what's going to happen? What's going to happen? You're gonna be discontent with 2 to 3 people now when you just started. Like a year from now, when you may have 10 to 15 to 20 to 30 live viewers, you'll be discontent with them because you'll be thinking you should be at 100 by now. You got to learn to appreciate what you got in front of you before God's going to bless you with more. I didn't mean to preach this morning, but some of y'all need a reset of your perspective. My goodness. So my question is, are you dabbling with your audience? You need to realize that an audience is an effort. You got to earn it from them. A lot of people, I see that, Tony. Tony got his first paying customer yesterday after broadcasting weekly. Yeah, Tony, you've been at it for a while, and I love that you got your first client, buddy. It's so awesome. I love that. It's a win. It's absolutely a win. When I say, are you dabbling with your audience, I'm asking you, are you just, do you go in spurts? Do you go in spurts where you go out, you share content, you post, you have a schedule for a while, and then you get defeated because you didn't get as much as you thought you were going to do. So then you stop. You stop, and then you don't show up for weeks or months. And you're like, well, I think I'm going to try it again. So then you go back at the content again, and you're like, hey, everybody, I'm back. I bet you've been wondering where I'm at. No, nobody's been wondering where you're at because they're all too busy to wonder where you're at. You were gone, out of sight, out of mind. Nobody cares that you were gone. You were gone. Now you're back. Oh, you're back. Okay, well, what are you doing now? And they pay attention to you, and then you go, and then something happens, and you stop again. And then you stop, and then you disappear, and nobody knows you're gone again. Then you're back. Oh, now I'm back. I'm reading somebody's mail today, right? Listen, if you want to build a tribe, if you want to build an audience, you got to treat this like it matters to your business. You got to treat this like it matters to your success. You got to treat it like it matters to your just straight survival in your business. Let me ask you this question. Imagine this. Imagine you just started up a brand new restaurant on Main Street in your local hometown. Let's say restaurants aren't closed. Okay? Brand new restaurant. You're excited about it. I got this new restaurant. I'm excited. It's gonna be amazing. You open the doors. You've done your marketing, done all the thing, and you're really excited about the crowd. And you open up the front door, and you're expecting to get 100 people on your first visit. On your first day, you only get 20 people, 20 customers, and you're like, yeah, wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. We'll open again tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow will be better. So you open again tomorrow, and tomorrow you only get 15 people. Jeez, going the wrong direction, man. I hope tomorrow's better. So then you open the third day, and the third day you get 20. And you're like, this sucks. This thing sucks. I'm not getting as many people as I thought. I'm just, whatever. I'll come back next week. And you shut the doors for a week. Would you do that? Like, if you invested all this energy and time into creating this restaurant, would you open up for just a couple days, and just because it didn't go your way, would you shut the door and not allow customers to come in? Now, that seems ridiculous, doesn't it? No, Justin, nobody would do that. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. By showing up, not showing up, showing up, not showing up. Posting some days, I'm not going to post today because I don't have anything creative. I'm not going to go live today because it's raining outside. That's what you're doing. I want you to get that picture in your brain. Every single time you choose not to show up, it's like you just opened a restaurant on Main Street and you decided, I'm not going to open the doors for business today because I don't feel like it, or because I have all these excuses. Like, showing up with your content, showing up to engage with your audience is turning your open sign on for business. It's showing people that you are open for business. You have to give people an opportunity to engage with you. That's what you're doing. When you create content, you are putting yourself online, and you're giving all these people in the world an opportunity to see what you're about and engage with you. If you do not show up, you are not open for business today. If you do not show up, you are not open for business today. You just shut your doors. Are you dabbling with the audience of people that would be and could be connecting with you? All right, that's number 4. Woo! Gloves are off now. Let's just keep going. Number 5. Number 5 is your connections. Are you dabbling with your connections? There's a difference between your audience and your connections. Your audiences are people that's your cold prospects. That's general interest. Your audience is people that are just going to come by your audience. Maybe you haven't met or connected with these people yet, but there's not a tremendous amount of loyalty established yet. That's just your audience, all right? Your connections are people that you have connected to. Treva, great morning to you. These are people that, Linda, good morning to you as well. These are people that you've connected to, you've interacted with. These are people that have downloaded things from your website. These are people that have done discovery calls with you. They've been following you forever. Are you dabbling with them? Dabbling with them means to take part in an activity in a casual or superficial way. Are you being casual or superficial with the people that have really connected to you? Business is about relationships, y'all. I've said this before, I'll say this again. That your business, your growth, I'll just say it this way. Your business will grow at the same pace at which you are successful at building new relationships. I'm going to say that again. Your business, which would include your exposure, your finances, all the things that go along with growth, your business will grow at the same pace at which you are able to develop and establish new relationships. Relationships are everything. Relationships are everything. This is a people business. No matter what business you're in, it's a people business. You've got to be making new connections. You've got to be making new relationships. I had someone ask me one time about all the ways that I track my business, and they asked me, at what point in time or how often do you track all your social media statistics? Like, when do you look at your views and your shares and your comments and kind of look at all that? And I said, I don't. I said, you don't? You're a content creator. You don't look at your stats? Nope. I don't care. I don't care how many video views I get. I don't care how many shares I get. I don't care how many comments I get. I don't look at all that because it's noise. Those are noisy statistics. I base my success of my business on relationships. What I do keep track of on a weekly and monthly basis is how many new people I've connected to, how many new relationships I've made, how many individuals I've had calls with, how many people have downloaded things from my website, how am I moving those people forward and helping them in their individual businesses. I base the success of my business on people. So if you ask me, Justin, how's the month of April been for you? I don't go to social media and look at stats. I go to my log of all the new connections I make and tell you I made 66 new connections in Facebook or in the month of April. 66. That's actually real. 66 of those. 23 of those are now new clients of mine. April was the most successful month I've had since Black Friday, since November. But I was all after it. While a whole bunch of people are shutting up and shutting down, I built an app for myself and got out there and made new connections and engaged with new people. People. It's all about people. Like, are you dabbling with the people that are engaging with you, or are you really seeking to build new relationships, make new connections? And you know where it starts? People are like, well, Justin, how do you do that? I invest an enormous amount of time and energy into new connections. That's what I do. I believe wholeheartedly, and there's no secret. I'll just tell you, Justin, how do I do that? Invest your time and energy into people. Give more than people expect. Blow people's minds. That's how you do that. I believe wholeheartedly that I need to be investing in my clients before they'll invest in me. I need to be investing in other people before they'll invest in me. I need to be investing in you guys before you'll invest in me. What does that mean? That doesn't mean that I need to necessarily be spending my money in you, but I do need to be investing my time, my energy, my resources, my wisdom in you. I have to be investing that in you before I can expect you to invest in me. The problem is most people don't want to do that work. Most people think that if you just go out and do some live videos and do some posts every day, clients are going to come rolling right in. And it doesn't work that way, which is why so many people crash and burn and give up. Because they go live for a couple weeks or a couple months. And at the end of a couple weeks or a couple months, they're like, I'm not a $1 million influencer on Instagram yet. What happened? I've been following the formula, what everybody says a great live video is. Oh, it's because you're only doing 10% of the equation. You showed up. That's it. That's all you did. You showed up. You posted. That's it. Running a business online is 10% content creation. The rest of it is what happens after content creation. You got to make relationships with people. I look at every single one of you people that are hanging out with me. We got 46 live viewers across 5 networks right now. All you people that I've connected with, I've invested time and energy into you, right? Now those guys that are new to me, maybe we haven't gone there yet, but we will someday. You'll have a phone call with me at some point in time. But so many of y'all that are my tribe, you're my people, I've invested an enormous amount of time and energy in you. And for a lot of cases, I invested an enormous amount of time, energy, and resources into you before you ever paid me a dime. But then many of you have invested a ton of money in me. But I've earned it, I think, right? And I continue to earn it. And it's not that it just stops after you've paid the bill. I keep serving. I keep pouring into you. I keep trying to find ways to be a resource for you as much as I can. It's a business, y'all. It's a business. Are you dabbling with your connections? We appreciate you right back, Maggie girl. All right. Number 6. I got 3 left for you. Then I'm going to kick you out of here, okay? Number 6 is, are you dabbling with your ideas? Are you dabbling with your ideas? This gold that's up here. This is the most valuable thing that you have. This head on your shoulders. It's the most valuable thing that you have. This is what God put up here. Your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your knowledge, your background, like all those things. There's so much that you have up here that only God gave you. It's your gift. It's your ability. Your ideas. Are you dabbling with those things? Are you the type of person that's like, I think I want to write a book? It's because God prompted you to write a book. Some of y'all have a book on the mind. but it's been on the mind for forever. Write the book. Some of you guys have a business idea. Some of you guys have a new product idea. Some of you guys want to create a course. Some of you guys want to, Lord knows, what's that idea? What's that thing? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. With all you people that are here watching me live right now, I'm curious, how many of you have an idea that you believe came straight from the Lord, and it's in your heart and it's on your mind? Put yes in the chat stream. It's something that you have not manifested yet. You have not taken action towards it yet. I bet there's at least 10 of you in this live broadcast right now that have something burning inside of you, an idea that you've been thinking about for a while, and you're trying to decide whether to do it. There's going to be hundreds of people that's going to speak to. You got an idea. You got a vision, you got a dream, you got something that the Lord gave to you. And I wonder, those are God things. Y'all, those are God things. So I'm really curious. Are you dabbling with that? Are you giving it the time that it needs, the energy that it needs, the focus that it needs? I'm just leave right there. Are you dabbling with your ideas? Number 7 is, are you dabbling with your investments? We've all done this. Some people worse than others. Are you dabbling with your investments? How do I know? Well, you've bought 7 courses, 18 books, and paid for 3 coaches, and you've never followed through on any of them. Maybe, Justin, it wasn't. It was 3 courses, 2 coaches, and I've got 6 books that I haven't read yet. At some point in time, there's a common denominator, and it's not all the books and courses and coaches. The common denominator is you, and the way you're approaching the process. All right, I know it's funny to me, but it's not funny, y'all. You have to recognize when there's some consistency in your inability to finish, or there's some consistency in your lack of focus. There's some consistency in your lack of follow through. At some point in time, you've got to realize that you might need to change something. Because that's a thing, y'all. Are you dabbling with your investments? At some point in time, you've got to learn to complete. You got to learn that there might be something deeper that you need to dig into. If you are constantly purchasing things but never finishing anything, there's some stuff that you got to deal with that. You may be dabbling with your investments, all right? Number 8, last one, is, are you dabbling with your brand? This is what I want you to get with this. Your brand, there's a quote that says, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. It's a good quote. It's a little overused, but I like the idea around it, because basically what your brand is, I want you to get this. Every single thing, think about this for a second. Every single thing that every one of us are currently doing and not doing is forming your brand identity. Everything that Justin Kaplan Pro is currently doing and not doing is forming my brand identity. My consistency in showing up with great brand new content for you every day forms my brand identity. The posts that I share, the encouragement that I give, the connections that I make, the intention that I have behind every action that I do in my business is forming my brand identity. The things I'm not doing, like sharing political posts, sending conspiracy videos through Messenger to everybody in my contact list, spreading fear and panic, getting on the bandwagon train of whatever, all the things. Those things that I'm not doing are also forming my brand identity. It's telling people everything they need to know about who I am as a business owner and as a person. Every single thing you are doing and not doing currently is forming your brand identity. It's telling people everything they need to know about you. What do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known for? What do you want people to think about when they think of you? What do you want people to say when they're talking about you? What impact are you seeking to make? What influence are you seeking to have? How intentional are you behind every single action that you take, every single post that you make, every single move that you make? How much intention is behind that? And are you really thinking about how is this going to affect my brand identity? How is this going to affect the perception that people have of me, the perspective that people have of me? Because people will interact with you based upon their perception of you. Some people have, I've seen people, man, in the past couple months, I have seen people that have been spending years establishing a powerful brand identity and have wrecked it in the past 8 weeks. Wrecked it. Just wrecked it. I've seen people that I've seen people, I mean, have you guys seen this? I've seen people that I have had a high level of respect for in the past, and over the past several weeks just been like, wow. Didn't see that one coming, and have just completely changed the perception that I have of them. People will interact with you based upon their perception of you. How many people have you dropped off your friends list in the past 2 months? I've dropped a lot. I've dropped some people off my friends list that I used to look up to. I've dropped some people off my friends list that I knew that, I mean, I've dropped people off my friends list that I know are locked in on my content on a weekly. I've had a handful of people that I have actually not only dropped from my friends list, but actually blocked so they can't interact with me anymore. Because I got people, the number of people, my goodness, the number of people that are sending me messages, you wouldn't believe it. The number of people that are sending me videos and links and all the things. Justin, you should do a broadcast on this. It's so important to get this message out. Justin, please share this video. I know you could get it out to more people, and this needs to be seen. Nope. Those messages die in my inbox. Okay? Listen. Oh, I don't want to get in. I'm not going to get into it. It's just, are you dabbling with your brand? Be aware. Be aware, y'all, that everything you are currently doing and not doing is forming your brand identity. People are watching, because this is the thing. This is the biggest thing to realize, is that there are more eyes and more ears on social media right now than have ever been available in history. Ever. And I don't see it ever being more than it is today. Because there's so many people that have more time than ever. Everybody's on social media looking for information. They're more accessible than they've ever been. What are you doing with that opportunity to really show people who you are and what you're about? Are you dabbling with your brand? Are you dabbling with all these things? All right, that's what I got for you today, guys. I'm going to leave you with that because I know 40 minutes of your time is so valuable. Listen, if you do not currently have it, I would love for you to download the JC Pro app. All right, JC Pro app. You guys can look Justin Kaplan Pro up in your app store. Download my app. And one of the things that I usually do is I share my notes with you. I'm now making these super available in my app, and it's easy to grab. If you go into my app, you click on Training Library at the top, and this broadcast that we're on right now is already in there. If you click on that, there's my notes for the day. There's my quote for the day, as well as all of my things, and you can swipe this, and my replay video is already there, ready to go. So you guys can get that from my app. If you want to get my notes for the day, that's where you grab them as well. All right, guys, I appreciate you. I know 40 minutes of your time is so incredibly valuable, so I appreciate you spending your time with me this morning. You guys are amazing. I love the engagement. Hopefully I know this is a challenging broadcast, but I hope it was a good one for you. My mission, again, is to shake your nest and get you operating better than you currently are, doing more than you currently are, affecting more, impacting more, and using that gift that God has given you to impact the lives that he's called you to impact, all right? So I'm going to leave you with that for today. Guys, have a beautiful day. Be intentional with your Thursday. Be intentional with your time. Be intentional with your talent. And I will see you guys all around the web. All right, take care. God bless. I'll see you guys later.